Ottawa! Ottawa. Anyone been into Ottawa? Anyone ever been to Chicago? Come on. Okay, you guys next. You guys first.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
You've got to teach the group.
Who does?
All of you. Demonstrate, teach everybody else in the group. You
guys,
what I want you to do is watch.
You've got to teach.
And
I don't.
up you get. Yep. You guys up you get. Quick, quick, quick.
We as a group have to teach, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got about 3 minutes. That should be all you need.
Just follow. Yeah.
Okay, well we need everybody standing up, please. Yeah, sorry, I'm standing up. Makes me feel short.
You got about 3 minutes. Fast as we go.
Okay, find a space where you're not engaged with anybody else, so you've got your own space, and a partner, facing them. Not fit and scared people, so you need to be standing facing your partner. Yeah. Help somebody out. Yep, that's good. So one partner is going to close their eyes, the other partner is going to observe what their partner is, what is happening to their partner. Right, go.
You close your eyes and I've got to see what you do.
Standing there.
No, you've got to see them.
Are we doing it right?
And then swap over, the other person close their eyes, the other person observe.
So I'm just observing what you're doing.
Okay. Any observations?
Calm.
Just slightly at the end of it, so I'll wait.
So you
Swaying?
still.
Just no, much.
Swaying.
Yeah, it's not quite a long way. So any observations?
It's not going to hurt at all.
Okay, so
He is calm.
he was calm.
Yeah.
Was he moving?
Not really. Just nice and calm, standing there.
Yeah, calm.
He was. Yep. Did you observe him?
No, because I didn't do it.
Oh, well then he doesn't know what's happening, does he? Okay, so technically if you're standing with your eyes shut, there's going to be some sway going on. Yeah? Okay, now individually shut your eyes and imagine, think about what your feet are doing. Put your feet in closer together.
With us?
Yeah, you both close them and just think about what your feet are doing. Okay, observations about what your feet are doing?
I'm trying to keep balance.
How are they doing that?
Like I'm going from toes to heel.
Yep, and if anybody try just rocking sideways a little bit, what's happening then? Weight shifting. So you're using the soles of your feet and you're shifting your weight from your toes to your heels and you're maintaining balance. And that's what our skill was, to teach you how you balance, so that we can then go on and do higher balances.
Cool.
Stand on one foot now.
So what sport?
Gymnastics.
Okay. So what's the outcome?
Making them aware of how they balance, because when they have to do scale balances, they have to be very in touch with what the sole of their foot is doing.
Okay.
With us?
Close your eyes, stand on one foot. And think about making your foot correct.
Terrible balance. Terrible.
Try both legs, you will find your dominant leg is better at it. That's cheating. Yeah.
And it's harder when you've got your eyes closed.
It's much harder when you've got your eyes closed, yes. And then to make it really challenging, if you're finding that easy, come up onto one toe.
One toe.
We'll leave it to Junior.
One toe.
Okay, so when we had our feet apart, we had hardly any sway. When we put them together closer, you felt the sway more often. When we came up on one foot, your instability increased. When we come onto your toe, it increased more. So what did this tell us?
Need to practice more.
No? Gave us the basic laws of what makes you stable and what makes you
It's
unstable.
foundation.
Wide foundation, you're stable, and
Narrow, yeah, understand.
All surface area on the ground.
yep, wider base of support. I'm up here.
Two legs versus one.
What about my centre of gravity?
So the higher it goes, the worse it, the more unstable you are.
Yeah. So, can anybody show me what would be the most stable position I can get into?
Oh,
Okay,
okay, stay there. All right, around the group. 3 ways of teaching that better. Doesn't matter you're not from gymnastics, doesn't matter. How could you have taught that differently, or maybe more effectively, purely from a coaching perspective?
Possibly what we're doing, like what we're doing before, like a bit of preamble about what we're doing. Because I think that our idea with testing balance came after we started figuring out something.
There might have been some sort of demonstration by you saying, guys, what sort of position is this? Highly stable, unstable? What sort of things am I, maybe a little bit of a demonstration at the end point, that's not a bad idea. Other things, yeah?
There's no wrong answer sometimes. It's not kind of an answer and you go, no, it's not right. Maybe it's either you not quite.
You wouldn't do that, would you?
Oh, no, don't do that.
No, we're not quite right here.
Yeah, anybody else think, is there another way of teaching it?
Colin, would you take the shoes off? Tell them to take the shoes off?
Yeah.
Right? Because they'll be
That would
even
make
more
a big
unstable, won't
difference.
they?
Yeah, make them more unstable. Shoes help a lot.
How would I teach that with 10-year-olds? What's going to happen if I've got 18 10-year-olds in the room trying to teach them that concept?
Like a game or competition?
Yeah, use counterbalances.
Yeah, good. Yeah, but the game's good. Guys, who can do this the longest? Who can close both eyes? Who can take both feet off the ground at the same time? Here's my puns. So, yeah, maybe a little bit of a game. Yeah, who can do it? Anything else? How could I progress the technique, do you think? I don't know.
Make the surface unstable.
Make the surface unstable, yeah? Could be good. That's not a bad one. Yeah, not add throw some sort of complicating factor into it. Very good. Yeah. Anybody else?
Put them on height.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
Instruction on how to have better body position.
Yeah. Anything else? Anyone got any other, allusions or ways of describing it with really colourful language that might connect even more effectively? Was anyone reminded of anything?
You like stand like a statue?
Stand like a statue. Yeah, not bad. Anything else? Yeah? So guys, one of the simplest things we do in swimming is to reach up and have our hands up here. So I've heard coaches, for example, when you reach up, if you do a butterfly, it's 2 hands at the same time. They say, do that and pretend you're scaring your children. Do that but pretend you're reaching up and grabbing something to pull your body up. The simplest movement, your ability to illustrate that and bring it to life through uses of metaphor and comedy and illustration and might connect with this group. This group over here might want to just hear you talk about the technical stuff. This one, they're not listening to you, they're watching and they're seeing what you're doing. Guys, little thing when you're demonstrating technique, if you know what you're going to demonstrate to your assistant coach or demonstrate in front of a mirror if you can before you do it, because the kids will watch and copy more than they listen and copy. So make sure your own demonstrations are great. What do you do if your own demonstrations are no good? Get someone else to do it who can demonstrate the technique you want to see it demonstrated. Really important to remember they will look, particularly in noisy, crowded environments, they'll look more than they listen. And they're going to copy from there. Yeah, pretty good. All right, great. Somebody from the front group, what sport have you played when you were younger?
Soccer.
Very, very flexible. We're just watching you do that exercise before. Heels, when you did that one, your heel's almost in front of your toe. So big hip rotation. Have you had a lot of injuries? Lower back, knees. When you ran down, it's just been coached, we observe everything. You ran down there, you run with your feet turned. Really interesting. That would cause you a lot of grief over your career, or would it make you? Yeah. Like a mobile. All right, very good. You guys stand up. Okay, you guys teach them whatever you're talking or something to do with kicking. Let's go.
Yeah, something like that. Now
Okay, so we're just going to imagine there's a football in front of us. So you just watch my feet. So the ball's there. So all I'm going to use my right foot. So if you're using your right foot, when I say the target foot, that's your left foot. If I'm using my left foot, your left foot, that's the right foot. So all I'm going to do, the non-kicking foot, I'm going to put next to the ball. My big toe's going to point at the target. My feet's going to make an L. I'm going to make a big L. Back to a little L. Finish with an upside down L. Toe is your target. Little L, big L, upside down L.
This drill's really got the L, hasn't it?
Oh,
that was terrible.
So you kick it with the side of your foot?
Yeah.
Inside.
This is a side foot pass.
Pass. Passing accuracy.
Yes.
Keeping that L tap. You're losing your L a little bit.
So why is this important? Why do I want to learn this?
This is ballet, you didn't hear.
Why, what's it taking to
Accuracy.
So what do I do with
Yeah,
the
so now you
side?
just go now. Go. Big L. Make a big L. Take your foot back. No, the non.
Kicking the soccer ball.
Yeah, and then you swing through. It makes them upside down.
Keep the elbow.
So you lead with your heel.
Try and keep that elbow.
Yeah, good.
So you need to do a lot of that.
That's what I was younger.
Elbow all the way through.
That's so alien. Sorry, we do not have.
Well, the other way you do it like that, the other way is if you want, you can go just tick tock like a clock.
That's just change up. You haven't got a ball for your kids to in. Yeah.
Or like mini golf, like you're putting in golf.
Oh, nice mission.
Anyways, look at the movement, think about what you're seeing. Anybody else with suggestions on how you can instruct that, coach that, use metaphor, how could you coach that differently, better? Anything, off you go. You don't have to be from football, just another way you might coach that.
I'd continue on with a ball. So they say they practically see where it's going to and more accurate.
Yeah.
We struggled as a group to pick up a different way to deliver it, but what we thought we couldn't do is change the ball size.
Yeah.
So you can get accuracy and
Yeah.
change the ball weight.
Do it with a golf ball, do it with a ping pong ball, tennis ball, you could.
And then do a balloon because your soccer ball's quite heavy and it would go pretty much in the right direction. So the
Excellent.
balloon would go different directions so you can keep that accuracy.
Could you break it down more? So before you talk about the ball, just talk about that method, the method of this before you start.
Look, that's a good point because we had
Just
to
to
steer.
practice from the
Yeah,
straight away.
that came up. You would probably did coach that shape well enough to start with. So
Yeah, so sort of like the hours and stuff maybe.
How many movements are there? You put one down,
You slot one
That's
down
one.
and then
2, 3. So you can use 1, 2, 3. Who does that with their technique? Okay, guys, with me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Who does that? Who does numbers? And so that the athletes can focus on a logical sequence. Yeah, anyone do that? With their drills or their skills or their technique work? What else?
I think one of the with them I actually went, oh, you know, and then make a big L, a little L contact and that.
Yeah, so that's stages, breaking it down into pieces so you can work
We
with
do.
each piece. That's good.
We do letters for shapes, like, you know,
Yeah,
use letters to
good.
describe a body shape.
Good.
Do you take some
Please,
step by step,
please,
so
always.
regardless of which is the
Yeah. That's if we say someone completely foreign.
Oh, it works better on the other side. Should have told you.
There you go, well, get it done to each other.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Guys, anything else anyone can think of?
I just, well, what my body's doing, you know, apart from the ball, so I did ask that, and it's the proper technique, I guess, is body over the ball, rather than leaning back. Body over the ball.
Anybody else who knows nothing about football, look at the movement, look at the action. Is there any other way we can teach this, change it, make it more interesting?
It's a bit like playing your
Golf with
It's
you.
not a bad thing.
your number 2 movement is like a golf
Golf.
swim.
And would you worry about follow through? Is that important?
So I would say if you want, it depends on power, it's either a little L or more, the bigger the L, or the bigger the upside down L, the further over there.
So who plays golf? Who just does air swings when you, I mean deliberately when you're practicing? So you go there and you've got, just, you're about to tee off and they just go, you just swing, get the rhythm, you get the momentum going, and then you put the ball down and you should just be getting through the ball. So you'd be doing that as a bit of a warm-up and a stretch, loosening off through the hips, and then put the ball down. So, yeah, anything else? We've got any ideas? Okay, last group quickly. What did you do? Take us through it. Lead us through.
We did Waikato.
All right, grab your chairs.
But
Let's
everyone
go.
cheers, eh?
Everyone's
Which way are we
got
going to
a chair.
face?
We'll face this way.
Face that way?
All right, let's get all three groups with chairs in a line.
We need your chairs one behind each other.
We're going to rest.
One behind each other, facing this wall. Facing.
So the original group should be able to do it well, so everybody else will be following.
Picking up the
Okay, so one behind each other.
That will be in.
You want two rows to go in front of two, just two.
So can you jump in?
No, we're going to jump.
Okay, so what we're going to learn is how to paddle in a Waikato canoe. So it's a bit hard because you have to visualise it. But each side of the seat that you're sitting on is the side of the waka. Outside that seat is the water. So we've got a canoe with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on it, 6 people. Now what we do is we have the people at the front of the waka, the right hand side arm comes up. So you 1, 3, each 5. 1, 3, 5, and last person. Your right hand comes up. Your bottom hand comes down like this, and the top hand comes over the top to this side of the wicket. So you like this. The other side. Yeah. And so what we're doing here is we're leaning forward slightly. We're just rotating using our core. Okay, and we come back around again. So, in the water, pulling through the stroke, rotate,
That's a
return.
good photo.
Okay, the other side does exactly the same, but on this side, you have your left hand down, your left hand over the top, and we're doing exactly the same thing, rotating and coming back like that. Now, what we need to do is we need to work together.
All at the same time?
All at the same time. And the speed that you're doing it at is the person in front sets the speed. Everyone else is looking towards the front of the waka and watching the timing of the stroke.
Is there any verbalisation to help with the time?
Pardon?
Is there any verbalisation to help with the time?
Yes. Yep. So what we do with that is we all count. So the front of the stroke, we hold it up. So everyone ready? Leaning forward slightly. Okay. And then we count together. Ready? 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to call hip. So we take one more. Hip. Take one more and change over to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are we in the lead?
5.
Yep.
6.
Hey.
One more and over. Okay. And that's it. Okay.
Very good, very good. Coaches. Coaches, there's a bunch of skills there. All right. Throw something at him, even if you've never been on the water before. Some things that you think, if you were coaching that, how you might do it differently, or some suggestions for coach. Off you go.
I just have a concern that I would have knocked his head off as I brought my oar across.
Yes.
Yeah. Normally there's a bit of space between.
Okay.
And he probably would have knocked his head.
Feet position, like, does that help?
It does, yeah. So actually, the hand that's at the top, the leg that side is on, comes forward, and the other leg is slightly back. So that gives you more reach as you're reaching outside the bucket.
So how are you teaching breathing?
Yep, so breathing as well. When you go to the front of your stroke, you breathe in. And when you're going down the side, that's the power part of the stroke, you breathe out.
Yes, good idea.
And who's steering? Is
You
it-
are.
Yeah, right at the back.
Yeah, the person down the back of the...
So am I doing the stroke and I'm leaving my oar in to steer it, or is there something else that's...
That's a whole different skill set.
Yeah.
And we're seated in an L. No, we're not seated like that, so we're seated in an L shape.
Like, bended on one.
Where are our legs? They're
Oh,
not.
yeah. So you're sitting exactly like that.
Really?
Yeah. So you're sitting on the
There's
seat.
chairs in it.
Yeah, there's lots of
Yeah, some
seats
of
on
the
the benches. So you sit down and you just like this.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to need some adjustment. My feet don't reach the
Yeah.
Hey, Henry, you weren't the only one trying to visualise an L-shaped walker then.
Yeah.
I was thinking like you're going
Yeah. So there's a little seat that you sit on. You know, it's about roughly the same height.
Guys, other ideas, other suggestions, other ways, looking at it, looking at the movements, looking at what he's asking you to do. Are there any things that jump in the mind? And what does it look like? What does it feel like?
So just in terms of the timing, how
So-
they could sort of all be in
The timing, it's critical.
at the same time.
So does the lead person call the time?
The lead person doesn't call the time, he just sets the time by doing his own time, and everyone else just follows. Any difference in timing throws the waka out because it's balance. You end up doing this.
If you lose your time or you had another oar,
Yep.
how do you, what's the next step to get back into? Do you just sort of try to time it, or do you
Just
get back in?
wait for the next stroke to come.
And you
get
try to
back
time
in.
that next stroke?
So you disengage and then re-engage,
Yeah.
but you always move your body weight forward.
Are your eyes, looking forward, or are they following your stroke?
Good question. They're looking forward, and you should be looking behind the person in front of you at the back of their head. And everything that you're watching and sensing is peripheral. So you're watching, so you'll be watching no one. You'll be watching his.
Watching the finish line, bro.
Yeah. So you'll be watching his hoy on this side. You'll be watching his hoy on this side. You won't be watching directly in front of you. You're not looking at the person directly in front of you. You're looking at the person that's got the paddle on the same side as you. Yeah. Okay.
Do you practice the stroke technique on dry land first?
Yep.
Yep.
And why do we swap? Why can't we just stay one side?
Because you're going to get tired arms. Because you've got to swap
I
over.
mean, I won't get tired arms if I swap.
No, yeah. It's not like dragon boating. You're just paddling flat out on one side.
How much rotation do you have in your hips as you come round?
So
just keep it over twist?
So you should sort of come forward and just sort of rotate to there. And then, so you catch, the stroke is broken up into 7 phases. Do you have time to go through?
I'll give you another 2 minutes.
The stroke is
You're
broken
getting
up.
some great questions that engage into what you're doing. It's good.
The stroke is broken up into 7 phases. So when we're in the waka, we have our hoy, our paddle, and we're leaning forward slightly. And then we have what's the first phase with the catch. So we just drive down with the top arm, driving the hoy into the water. Second phase is the power phase, so we're locking everything in and strong shoulders, strong midsection, strong back, and we're just twisting and driving back with the sleeve.
Is it equal on both arms, or is one generally stronger?
It's a bit like a train, so this arm here loosens up as it comes along, but this one here stays strong. And you're driving back, you see how my arm bends? When we get to that part, it's called the release, and what we're doing is we don't want to go too far back, because what happens is the waka goes, basically what you're trying to do is get the waka up and keep it up. As soon as you go too far back, the drag that's created on the paddle will drop your waka down.
So more hull on the water, more friction.
Yeah, and that slows the waka down. So everybody's got the timing is critical. Everybody's power has got to be the same. Because the important thing is to remember that you're racing sometimes 20 k's, ocean going, so you're paddling a long distance, and you've got to be able to be efficient at how you paddle. And so the person at the front of the waka, the 2 people at the front of the waka are really, very, very important because they set the rate. The faster the rate, the more you're going to tire out. The people in the middle of the waka are what we call the powerhouse. So they're normally the bigger, stronger people. The thing that you have to be careful of is not tiring them out, because when you come to the finish, you've got nothing left in the tank. And So you've got to be careful about balancing everybody in the waka and what their strengths are.
Show me what your hands do when you transition from one side to the other.
So what we do is we practice with a broomstick at home or some sort of short rod, and you just basically
Vacuum.
so what we like this, and then we go, then we swap over, we pull up, grab the other hand down, and so it's all in one motion. So it should be fluid.
Nice. Good demo.
A core and back injuries, how are you managing both? How seems like to be the biggest
Yeah,
issues?
they are. Generally, we try not to paddle in heavy water.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing, is that the water types are different. Ocean water is lighter, more buoyant, more air. Lake water is heavier, harder. So we try not to paddle too long on hard water.
Yeah.
We prefer to paddle longer distances on the ocean.
Same as swimming.
Same as swimming.
So do you use lakes for strength building?
Yeah.
Because it's,
We do intervals, so we do increments of say 30 strokes at 50%, then you go up to 40 at 80 and so on. But all that training is like building your endurance and speed up.
So how do you know that it's 50 and 80%?
Generally each paddler, what we do is we do a bit of testing. So each person is tested over a certain amount of time. And
Is it heart rate type stuff? Or?
it's more distance than it's like a erg. So we have a machine that's like a erg, paddling erg, but it's set up for waka. So that's how we do our testing.
That's awesome. We've got to move out. That is pretty good. That's well done.
Awesome.
That's really well done. Good input from everybody. All right, quick wake up your brain exercise. Everybody doing the same thing. I want you to look around the room. I want you to find one thing in the room other than me or the team. I want you to find one thing, and in 2 minutes, write 20 uses for that thing other than its intended use. So, for example, I see that clock up there and I go, could be used as a dinner plate, I could wear it as a hat, I could pull the numbers off and use it to decorate my street, I could pull the second hand out, use it as a toothpick, you know, that sort of thing. So I want you to find something, and as a group, come up with 20 uses for it, other than its original intended use. We're going in 5 seconds. Take your...
1 inch.
Go.
20 as a group.
20 as a group.
20 as a group. One item, 20. Different uses as the group. We've got to put one as a group. Yep.
Yes, got
That's 15 seconds. That's 2 minutes to come up with 20.
Straw.
One finger is always handy. Use a plastic.
30 seconds.
One finger.
I used to use them as trains. We had to run and sit on here.
I can use it as
Could use it as a like a magnet.
Okay, 1 minute halfway. Maybe you need 20.
motivational tool.
Funnel.
That's 1:30. 30 seconds. Go, go, go. As crazy as you like. There are no stupid answers.
Cigarette.
Only victorious.
You use it to chuck it at people, apparently.
10,
Throw it.
9,
If you're
8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Put your hand up if you've got a blue card.
Yep.
You guys first. Off you go, tell us your object, tell us your things.
This will be soft. Okay, so we chose a chair. And obviously, we can use it as a chair. We can use it as a worker practice.
Oh yeah, it's good, yeah.
Bench squats, step ups, tricep dips, press ups, trains.
Yeah, we put them in a line as kids who
Oh,
used to
so
be
more than
trains.
one chair, a train. Step ladder. Tie a dog up to so it doesn't run away. Very handy. A barricade. If you
That
don't
would
want
be
to-
a Chihuahua. Oh yeah, that was too good. Seriously.
They're actually getting worse.
I know.
A barricade to throw at people, but we don't encourage people to do that sort of thing. A table for many people. That came from
Okay.
footstool. Any different armrest? Any more?
That's pretty good. Well done. How many was that? Do a quick count. Okay, anyone who's got 3 televisions at home? Anyone who's got a big screen television in their bedroom? It almost went up. You got one? Okay, it's you guys.
Dart, hat,
What's
oh,
it?
so we did this thing here. This bit of paper here.
This poster.
Poster here.
Okay.
That's helpful, thanks. Dart, hat, straw, fire starter, plate, toilet paper, clothes, or cloth, sorry. Clothes could work. Drawing, measurement, promotion, a fan, shelter, motivational tool, a funnel, an ice cream cone, some origami, a cigarette, a ransom note, a cutter or knife, a boat, a ball, and that's 22.
That's pretty good. Well done. You guys now.
We actually chose chair as well, so
That's okay.
there's only a couple of
Oh, you'll be
things.
better than me anyway.
We're going to teach a breaststroke kick with it, do box jumps, shooting, balance, basketball, dry land training,
They're all different.
putting clothing on, doing stretches, food storage, building a hut, and
The boot rack and self-defense against a lion.
Particularly for the coach for you, James, next year.
I was sitting on, of course.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so why would we have done this ridiculous exercise, do you think?
Help us think outside the square.
Yes, very much, very much. Guys, go back to that comment that rugby coaches are taught by rugby coaches who are taught by rugby coaches who are taught by people who play rugby. And so when someone says in front of a group of rugby coaches and they go strength training, your brain goes back to what did I do when I was playing rugby? What did my coach, what strength training did we do? Because your brain will then connect with what strength training has meant to you in the past. Whereas strength training, if you look around at the tools that are available for strength training, those big bags, kettlebells, there's machines, there's free weights, there's dumbbells, there's body weight resistance. Strength training can mean a million things. Running up a hill, carrying a tree stump. There's so many that if your brain goes, oh, it's the word said strength training, therefore it has to be in the gym, and then it has to be 3 to 5 sets of 4 to 6 reps. That's all it can be because that's what it is. But then you're limiting your creativity, and the purpose of this, guys, is that even if you're not someone who's comfortable getting out and learning more things from other sports, if your mind is still saying, well, no, I don't buy into this, I'll only find gymnastic solutions within gymnastics. Be creative, and what you do know, do stuff with it. Be really crazy and variable and be different. The stuff that you do know, learning can come externally and it come from internal creativity and innovation. That's so important. So I'll do another exercise with that. I want you to find somebody, grab your chairs, knees to knees. Mark might have to get involved in this if you'd like to. So we can even up the numbers, so anywhere you like, anywhere out here, just find some space in these two. Alright, so this is a warm-up called word association. So you're going to say a word that was on that list that we had this morning, a word that relates to a character trait or a value or a virtue that you believe are absolutely essential and not negotiable if an athlete's going to be successful. So one of you might say confidence and the other one would say belief. So you say the word, they will come back to you with the word that they believe is most closely associated with that value or character trait. And it's got to be quick, it's got to be within a second or two at most. So the partner that's closest to, looking around the room, closest to Mark, the partner who's closest to Mark, you start off. You've got 5 words you've got to come up with that are traits, values, virtues, things that you think are important. So you start off, the other person has got to associate and give you the word that they believe is most closely associated with your word. Ready and go. So go 5 each. Gotcha. 5 words each.
Time management.
So we've done 5 each. Alright, stop. Pretty good. Now we turn it around the other way. Same thing. 5 words, 5 character traits or 5 values that, again, the ones that you've identified this morning or others that have sort of unraveled and become important to you over the day. The other person has to say the opposite. The opposite, or the word, a word that's not associated with your words. So someone might say honest, you might say you just can't put an in front of the title. Someone says honest, you might say unreliable or something like that. So we learn usually with either way. You go, I know, like we found out when doing those exercises before about identifying the behaviours related to honesty, integrity, those things related to commitment and confidence and mental toughness. It was very clear if we went, what is it like and what isn't it like? So it helps to clarify your learning. All right, here we go. So you say a word like commitment, they've got to say the word that they feel is least associated with it. Eye contact if you can, knees to knees.
Untrustworthy. Arrogant. Courageous.
Okay, good. All right, stand up, walk around, find somebody else. Ideally that you didn't work with this morning. So speed dating, quickly move around. Right, so guys, this is what we call the coffee talk discussion. So the coffee talk is tomorrow morning you're at work or you're at coaching or you're at home and someone, you're having a coffee and then say, what did you do yesterday? Oh, we had this funny looking Australian guy with glasses come in and talk to us about coaching. And they'd say, oh, that sounds really interesting. What did you learn? So that's the first thing you need to tell the person opposite you. 2, how or why is that important? So you might say, oh, look, tell you what, I really got an understanding of confidence. So we did an exercise in confidence. Confidence comes in cans. Talked about the importance of belief times evidence. That's what I picked up. Why is that important to you? What was the big deal about it? And then 3, how will it? There must be something. If there's nothing you can talk about, it'll be really. How will it impact on your coaching? Right. So you'll have about 2 or 3 minutes. So take turns again. Let's go to the person closest to Mark starts off. You say, well, the thing I learned today was this. You know why I think it's important for me? Because of that. And you know what I'm going to do with it in my coaching? I'm going to incorporate that into my sessions, or I'm going to do something with my, whatever it is. All right, off you go. Coffee chat.
So what did you
I guess with the gymnastics.
How are you looking to apply the product? How's it going to impact your
I've sort of similar coach New Zealand in my master the same thing. You go somewhere to get engaged, you go out and you bring your lunch and sessions are very quiet. Very there's no textbook, there's no yeah, you can't actually put up the label sometimes. And I really like that. Second couple of times I can't. It's kind of about negative thoughts. And you put it in the whole you get lots of negative thoughts. You get infected.
Okay, guys, stop there for a minute. Stop for a minute. Maybe the best way to learn is to teach. So, I'll tell you something I've observed in the last few years, having been up and down the country a few times. If you ask the coaches in Southland and Gisborne the question, nobody answers. It's like pulling teeth. No disrespect, they're great people. I'm just saying it's the interesting way the crowds respond. Until you say, what do you think? Until I step forward and then they go, and they're fantastic. You guys, my observation, the couple of times I've been here, is you guys are very quiet. It's respectful, considered and thoughtful, and I'm not just sucking up because I'm in town and I'll be here till tomorrow. You can find out what room I'm staying in. So, but as you guys, again, seems to be a quality about you as a group, as people living in Waikato that's really identifiable. It's really interesting then when you go to Auckland, for example, that you get up in a group and say, guys, what is coaching? It's changed, Wayne, listen to me, I've got an opinion. It's really interesting. They're far more, and I don't know whether it's a reflection of the city or who they are, but it's so different that you just get a completely different response, and it's all quality and it's all valid, but it's a completely different way the crowd works. That's really interesting.
Are they more Australians now?
We're shy. All right, speed dating. Find somebody else. Same 3 questions. We're shy. Just remember, we're going to let you be humble about. We're all find someone maybe you haven't worked with, somebody you don't know, somebody you haven't had a chance to share with. If you have moved, if you guys have worked together closely, kick one of them out, go and swap someone else. So come on guys, move. Shift around. Kick them out. Yeah. A bit of assertiveness. That's true, Mark. It's really interesting. Very interesting. You go to watch them, it's like, let me tell you something. Very interesting. Okay, it was the same question. Same question. What did I learn? Why is it important? And how will it affect my coaching? What difference will it make to my coaching?
It's on the last part. What's happening? It's a long session for it to last. Oh, I see.
Alright guys, change around. Somebody else, maybe you haven't spent a lot of time with someone you don't know. Look around, by the end of the day, it'd be nice if you worked with everybody. So swap around. Okay. Right, so here we go. Different way of doing it.
Well, they don't think you put your feet on my feet. They go,
What are my 3 best qualities as a coach?
Pick somebody else, yeah?
So 3 best qualities. 3 best qualities as a coach. Alright, stop. Some words you're not allowed to use. Who was at the Auckland Conference connecting coaches? I've been here 20 or 30 times, and you guys are far too humble. It's because we're so loud and obnoxious, I know that. You guys are far too humble. There's a name Edmund Hillary mean anything to you? Have you heard of the All Blacks? Have you heard of Daniel Loader?
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Silver Ferns? Have you heard of the Black Caps? Do you know you've got world champions in cycling and rowing? Have you heard about Arthur Lydiard? His name John Walker mean anything to you? So why are you humble? A nation of 4 million people, why are you so humble? I know there's some cultural issues, but geez, if there was only 4 million of us and we'd done what you did, we'd be going mental. I'd have to be having Australia tattooed across my forehead. So get rid of words like I think, I feel, I believe, things like maybe. You know, I listen to you guys around the room, guys, we're coaches. You know, be confident, believe in yourself. Project those qualities that you want to see in your athletes. You know, maybe, oh, perhaps, or I think. You know, words, get rid of stuff like this, hopefully. You've done the homework, you've done the research, you know what you're talking about. Be comfortable and be comfortable in talking about yourself in positive. I guarantee, knowing New Zealanders, if I said, give me 20 things about yourself you're not doing well, you guys would go like that. You guys are just rattling off because for some reason, with all you've done and all you've achieved, poorly located geographically, not the best climate in the world for so many sports, and you still kick the butt of so many people around the world. So be comfortable in this, because why? What's the main, why do I want to see that? Not just me. How can you inspire it in your athletes if you can't inspire it in yourself? How can you get a kid from Waikato to stand up in Rio and break a world record if you don't believe in yourself as their leader and their coach and their mentor and their guide? So guys, be comfortable saying, this is me, man, I am good at this. Yeah? Great. Three of your what are your 3 greatest qualities? What makes you as effective as you are as a coach? Humility. Humility. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're telling me I'm telling you. What do you
Guys, eye contact, be comfortable talking about yourself. You're special people. Your life changes. All right, guys, stop for a minute. Just mark that. Guys, check this out. So go back to my circles, right? Here's my, it might be all you remember. So there's my athlete that I want to get to know. When I've had the good fortune of working with outstanding coaches and great athletes, what you see is this. They know themselves so well and they're so comfortable with who they are that what you see is what you get. You're not dealing with pretense or fakery or rubbish or, you know, you're not dealing with all those barriers and layers and things that most people put up. What you see is what you get. When you talk to them, you get eye contact, there's no fear. No one is perfect, but they're just comfortable in their imperfections. They're comfortable in being who they are and they've accepted it. So if I want to be able to deal with athletes, the first thing is I need to know myself and I've got to be comfortable with me. Yeah, because that's how I create what we said right at the beginning of the day. What is coaching? Coaching is change. How do I change? Through emotional connection. And I want to connect with that human being that's running and kicking and passing and throwing, the one that's doing those amazing things under pressure to help them realise their potential and discover their dreams. It has to come from me. And if I've got barriers and I'm not comfortable with me and I'm shy and I'm holding back and I've got all those things in the way, it's very difficult to then connect the way that I need to with another athlete. So part of your art of emotional connection is being comfortable with the person who's making the connection, which is you. That will help you to discover the person with whom you want to connect. So this is a real exercise, guys. I've got to be comfortable. I know who I am, my strengths, my weaknesses, my faults, the things that I'm outstanding at, the things I need to learn, things I need to change, improve, and be comfortable with it. You know, I think people have this impression that if I've got something, if there's something I don't do well, that's a fault with me, or it's something that's wrong. Well, it's not. It's just you. And the very thing that we try to inspire in kids is accept yourself for who you are and take action to change the things that you don't like or the things that you think need to be changed. But it's still you. Still love the faults, love the errors, love the mistakes, accept the problems. But if you don't like it, do something about it. Yeah. Right, let's try one more time. Swap around, find somebody else. Your three greatest qualities. No worries. So you're young Joe.
No, I just got taken.
No problem. We've got a nice number now. Have we got two in? Two out. Okay, that's good. So look around. Say your three best qualities. Your three best qualities. Your three best qualities.
Do you know how to get out? Just on the left-hand side of the door, there's a press to exit.
Eye contact. Be proud of who you are, coaches. You are special.
And I leave it. Everything on the calendar.
Okay, guys, stop there. Pretty good. Okay, just turn your chairs towards the middle if you like to sort of swing around so we'll just wrap up. I was at the Wellington Sport Awards the other night, and one of our team leaders, Mark Watson, was nominated for Coach of the Year. And I said, Mark, why don't you just get up? If you get the prize, why don't you just get up and go, I'm not going to thank anyone, I'm just bloody good, I deserve this prize, and sit down. Because everyone got up, there was a guy that thanked somebody he met when he was 4, and people who deliver the milk down the road, and somebody he once said hello to at a Bunnings place, and 5 people he once knew when he was 16, and his wife and everyone that she'd ever met, and 3 people watching from the space station. The guy was 9 minutes thanking everybody. He said, mate, do something different, just get up and go, I deserve this because I'm a bloody great coach. Do something a bit different. And he didn't get it. So I would like to say. So guys, look, that's 5 hours that just gone live. I thought they went like that. So guys, I take this job obviously very serious and something I'm very passionate about, because in our life we have the opportunity to change destinies, to change lives more than almost anyone. Even school teachers. My wife's a school teacher, and I talk to her about the precious career that we've chosen, because quite often as school teachers they've got no time. They're under such pressure to deliver syllabus, and they want to make a difference. Helen said it's really frustrating. You come home, you've got no time. I've got 30 kids, I've got 45 minutes, and I've got to teach them so many things, and you don't have the time or often the capacity to connect with them emotionally, which is what they want. And she said, then I go to the pool, and I've got the time and I've got the flexibility in the environment where I can actually connect and I can see change within a moment. And that's what it's about, guys. There's a great line by Pavaro, the great philosopher. He says, we don't remember days, we remember moments. And as coaches, we're able to recognise moments where we can change the lives of athletes, we can touch their hearts. We can connect with them and help them be more than they even thought possible. We can help connect them even closer to their dreams. And guys, as you commence this journey this year, challenge yourself in what you're doing. Review the work that you're doing every day. Ask yourself simple questions like, something as simple, you get in the car on the way home and you go, did I coach at my best today? Is there anything I could have done better? Could I have made a difference to an athlete? Could I have made a difference to my environment? Could I have made a difference to the team? What did I learn today that will make me a better athlete tomorrow? Because we ask the same thing of our athletes, don't we? We say to our athletes, did you give me the best you've got? Was that the best you could give me? Did the session make a difference to you today? Did you actually do something that made you better? And thirdly, so what did you learn today, athlete, that's going to make you a better athlete tomorrow? I think this is the greatest profession and the most wonderful industry in the world. We get to do things and see things that other people just can't understand, who don't get this opportunity and this gift that we're given to make a difference in the lives of athletes. Guys, over the year, the things that I can give you is this. What we've done today is the commencement of you guys working together. You've got a lot to share. I would say if you're in boat racing, go to the rugby league environment and see how he works with his team, and go on his boat sometimes and see what you can learn. Get the team involved and get them out and see what they learn by having to work in a space where they've got to work like a team. Those of you involved in track and field, get gymnastics coaches involved to talk about balance and alignment, flexibility and symmetry and strength and all those aspects of performance. So you've got a community of learning here that has got a tremendous range of skills that you've shown today capable of working together honestly and in a trusting environment and grow from the experience. And you're all in town or certainly in Waikato. So be really comfortable talking with each other. Who's shooting? So you're shooting. I would think in shooting you would know about relaxation, about breathing control, about calm and composure under pressure. That'd be someone I would want to take, some rat bag, cheeky halfback who can't do those things, to someone whose absolute fabric of their sport is control, calm, relaxation, concentration and focus. So you've got the pool of knowledge in this room to give you all the knowledge and skills that you need over here, plus the work you get from Mark. As this program keeps getting better and better. Everywhere I've been over the last 2 weeks and where I'm about to go, I can tell you the standard of the team and the program they're delivering, it just keeps going through the roof. You don't know it, but Mark and the team, they're not just working with people like me, they're working with a guy from US, Ralph Pym, who works at West Point with military leadership. They're working with some of the smartest leadership development people in the world so that their skills keep lifting, and that's what you get right here in Waikato from people like Mark. And then on top of that, if you need me, which would mean, and you're more than welcome to, you can get me anytime you need to. Send me an email while you're in this program, you're part of the family. And it's wayne@moregold, moregold.com.au. You can get it off my websites and everything else. If you need to call and have a chat, it'll cost you overseas rates unless you're with Vodafone. My Skype is Wayne Moregold Smith. I can't remember what my Facebook thing is, but you can join that as well. So if you want to follow up things or get information or connected direct with me, and I had one of our cricket coaches from Canterbury the other day said he was going to Melbourne. Could I connect him with anyone over there? And I got him a door in, inside the door of the Collingwood Football Club to meet with their performance managers. So between Mark and I, the people you'll meet and each other, you're only a step away from all the knowledge and information and resources that you need as you go through the PCA program. So mate, thanks very much for having me here. I've had a wonderful, cannot believe where it's going to get. Really amazing, and guys, just enjoy this year. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne. One of the things that I said Wayne would do was to challenge you in your thinking, so I'm sure he's done that today. He's a hive of knowledge, experiences, and lots of strange and funny stories, and sometimes funny jokes.
Always
fun. But you know, we have, as coaches, we have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and I think we put some of you in an uncomfortable environment today, but we have to get used to it. And don't panic; it will become even more uncomfortable as we go through. Okay, so thanks again, Wayne. It's always good to have you here. And as Wayne said, he's got another day here tomorrow, and then he's travelling to Taupo to do a session or two there.
How do you pronounce it?
Taupo?
Because as a stupid Australian, so a stupid Australian would say Taupo.
Yes,
that's Aussie for
a Porto.
So Wayne and I are going to do a bit of fly fishing on Tuesday morning with Tom from the Bay. So we'll see how good he is at that. Alright. So thanks a lot. Safe travels back home. We'll see you next time.